Hello and welcome back to the JJ's Declutter podcast. I'm Julie,
And I'm Janis.
and today we're doing something a little different. We're taking you to a magical place, well, as magical as a village drowning in stuff can be, called Alderwick. Because Alderwick, it's where storage bins multiply like rabbits when you're not looking.
Exactly. And trust me, if you ever opened a closet and had everything avalanche onto your head, you're going to relate to this story. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's visit a village that learned some seriously important lessons about letting go.
So, our tale is called The Village That Had Too Many Letters. Once upon a time, there stood a village called Alderwick. It wasn't a bad village. It was a very well-intentioned village. The people were kind, hardworking, and extremely sentimental.
Alderwick had sturdy homes, good bread, and generations of belongings stacked lovingly on top of one another. Everything had a story, everything had a reason, and everything had been kept just in case.
In Alderwick, possessions were treated like letters of the alphabet. Each one meant something, each one had a job, but over time, the alphabet got very, very long.
At first, no one noticed the trouble. After all, what's one extra chair or another box of papers? But soon the words of daily life became hard to read. Closets wouldn't close. Drawers jammed halfway. Gee, I wonder if I live in Alderwick. Tables filled before meals even started.
People felt it most in their bodies. They were tired before they began. Decisions felt heavier than they should. Every task came with a small sigh, the kind you don't notice until it's constant.
The village wasn't broken. It was overcrowded with letters that no longer belonged in the sentence.
Then one morning, something strange happened. A baker woke to find an empty space on his shelf. Not a mess, not a theft, just room.
Across the village, it happened again and again. A cracked bowl disappeared. A chair no one sat in had wandered off. A box of tangled cords quietly excused itself and was never seen again.
The villagers panicked at first, but they noticed something else too. Nothing important was missing.
What was gone were the things that had suddenly stopped doing their jobs.
So at the edge of Alderwick lived Juniper. She's the village mender. She fixed hems and patched kettles. She helped people untangle problems that didn't look broken at first glance.
Juniper watched the disappearance with calm curiosity. She noticed what others didn't. The belongings weren't leaving out of spite. They were leaving because they were tired of being kept without purpose.
So Juniper packed a satchel and followed the trail into the forest, where the letters had gone to rest.
She found them everywhere. A lamp leaning against a tree, dusty but hopeful, boxes of supplies waiting patiently for hands that never came, furniture resting quietly, relieved to stop holding expectations instead of people.
Juniper didn't lecture them. She didn't guilt them into returning. She listened. She thanked each item for the job that it had done, whether that job lasted years or just one season.
And for the first time, the letters felt seen for what they were, not for what they used to mean.
Juniper asked only one question, and she asked it gently. Where do you belong now? Not why are you here? And not what if I need you later?
Some letters knew the answer immediately. They were ready to move on. Others realized they still belonged in the village, but in a different place. doing a clearer job.
Nothing was forced, nothing was rushed. The alphabet began to shrink into something readable again.
When Juniper returned, Alderwick felt lighter, not empty, not stark, just balanced.
Rooms had space to be lived in. Tables welcomed meals instead of piles. Closets closed with a quiet confidence instead of a shove.
The villagers owned fewer things, but they trusted what remained. Every letter pulled its weight.
Here's what Alderwick learned: possessions are like letters. Too few, and life feels unfinished. Too many, and the meaning gets lost. So the goal isn't to erase your alphabet, it's to build words that make sense for the life you're living now.
And Julie, you know what I love about this story? It's
Hmm,
gentle. There's no shame, no judgment. No, you're a bad person for having stuff.
that's because decluttering isn't about becoming perfect or minimalist or living out of a backpack. It's about creating space for the life you're actually living.
And the letters you actually love. Not the life that you might live someday if the perfect circumstances align and you suddenly develop 17 new hobbies.
Exactly. It's about making sure your alphabet is readable, that every letter has a job, that your home tells the story of who you are right now.
So here's your homework, dear listeners. Pick one area this week, just one, and ask yourself which letters no longer belong in my sentence.
Acknowledge that the item's usefulness is over, and now decide, does it need to move on or does it need a new job in a different place? Honestly, the way I do it is I pick something up and say, I'm done with you. Bye bye. And into the donation station it goes.
Small, doable doses. Thanks for joining us in the magical alphabet village of Alderwick today, folks.
So here's a Decluttering with the JJ's invitation. We want you to join us in February for our Decluttering through the alphabet game. Each day we declutter one letter of the alphabet. I mean, we're ABC Declutter with JJ. We like the alphabet.
Yes. Also, studies have shown alphabetical decluttering works so well because it sneaks past those mental roadblocks that actually stop us cold. It removes the draining, where do I even start question. It will give us just enough structure to feel safe without feeling trapped. And it turns the process into a little treasure hunt that lights up our motivation and gently builds lasting habits by mixing routine with variety.
Doing this will help build your decluttering muscles and establish that positive habit in your life. Doing it one letter per day shows how small, doable doses gives you daily wins and gives you an amazing dopamine rush that encourages you to do it again. The combination of structure and variety appears optimal for successful decluttering.
And alphabetical decluttering works because it plays nicely with how our brains are wired. When the decision is already made for us, we save tons of mental energy and avoid burnout before we even begin. So, having clear, specific focus beats a vague, I should declutter something every single time.
This simple if then structure keeps us moving almost on autopilot. Turning the process into a little treasure hunt adds that fun spark of motivation that we didn't even know we needed. And when you repeat this for 26 days with just enough variety to stay interesting, those small actions quietly turn into real, lasting habits. We're simply setting you up for success.
Plus, we have a calendar you can use to keep track of how many items you're letting go of during the month. Simply click the link below and let's do this. And don't get hung up on Today's letter is D, so I can't let go of this old towel until T day. Just write 2 on T for that day and add it up when you go. Don't this is a structure to make it easy. It's not We're not trying to create a prison, and there's no alphabet game police that's going to come to your house and say, well, today's D Day. You can't get rid of any towels because those start with a T. Right, Julie?
That's right. Absolutely right. So, with that, we'll see you next time with more stories and strategies and probably more terrible puns.
The puns are never terrible, they're funny.
Oh. And on that note, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And as
always, keep
decluttering.
decluttering. We still can't say that together.
Oh my goodness gracious. Have a great day.